Welcome back, Gameyaaad family. Thank you again for joining us for another video. Now, in this video, I will be, just zooming in a little bit on the West Indies women's T20 and ODI team that would have been named by Cricket West Indies a few days ago, and that team is scheduled to, travel to England, where they will play a series of ODI and T20 cricket. Now, before I get into the squad, I believe that this tour is a very important tour, especially for the coach. I think it is, a growing concern now in the region for us to get some really good results out of this group of young ladies. Right? I think the region still is, kind of trying to come to grips, with the, non-qualification to the ODI World Cup, which is scheduled to bowl off later this year. In fact, it should be, starting in September of this year in India. Now, another thing would have happened today. We would have seen, based on the ICC ranking, West Indies would have gone 2 places down the table. We are now sitting at 9th. We were at 7th before the ranking came out this morning. So that is another important piece of information that really put a lot of pressure right on this women's team going into England. This tour will be a very important tour as it relates to results for the West Indies. Now, in terms of the squad, as you know, prior to the World Cup qualifier, we know that Deandra Dottin would have picked up an injury, and she has not recovered, right? So he was not named in the squad, and one of our best players at the World Cup qualifier, right, that of Shinel Henry, he would have been left out of the squad. So 2 persons would have been left out of the squad who would have gone to the World Cup qualifier. That's Rashada Williams, the Jamaican wicketkeeper, and also the Jamaican all-rounder of Shinel Henry. Now, I think Rashada Williams would have been just dropped from the squad. But in terms of Shinel Henry, she would have been, she would have picked up a leg injury during the, T20 plays. And I think that will be a very big news for the West Indies going into England. We know that England is very challenging in cricket, right? We know that the ball tends to move around in England, and one of our best batters in the the qualifiers, the World Cup qualifiers, would not have been with the team. As you know, Shinel Henry would have made 171 runs in that World Cup qualifier from 5 matches at a strike rate of 150. As you know, Shinel Henry, she would have made an unbeaten 46 against Ireland in that World Cup qualifier, and she would have made also a 52 against Bangladesh. Right? She has been in a rich, vein of form. As you can remember, she would have made a brilliant 100 from 49 deliveries in the T20 plays. So we know that she has been in good form for West Indies and also for Jamaica. So it will be a big blow for the team, having to be, to travel to England without Shinel Henry, one of the keenest hitter of the cricket ball in the West Indies lineup. So that will be a big miss. I'm sure that and that now put a lot of pressure on Alia Lane and also Sheridan Fraser. Now, looking on the squad, to be honest with you, I think the squad, given that Shinel Henry now is out of the squad, and Rashada Williams and they would have been replaced by Arelina Drummond. She is 20. Also, Azara Claxton would have made the team as well, and she is 19. Right, so the team is a very young and inexperienced team when you look on the squad overall. So it's gonna be a challenge for the West Indies players. But I am, backing them 100%. I hope that they will, do the region proud, in spite of their, lack of experience in the squad. So when you look on the squad overall, it's gonna be another big, over reliant on Haley Matthews, and really do not like, that about the West Indies team. There's too much reliance on Haley Matthews, right? So we have to find a way, to give, other players, that confidence. And so, given that Chanel Henry now is out of the squad, then Shemaine Campbell, she has to step up in this, tour. Shemaine Campbell is a good batter. I really like her technique, especially when she's moving her feet, coming down the wicket. She's so clean. But my issue with Shemaine Campbell is that she continues to get start and then throw her wicket away, and that is my biggest. It does lack the ability, of a batter. She has good technique. As I said, when she's moving her feet, and her timing is sublime, right? But she keeps getting the start and getting out. Now, on this tour, she has to step up, right? She will be under pressure in order to help, Haley Matthews with scoring the bulk of the runs. We know that what we will get from Kiana Joseph at the top, she's going to play one way. That is to put pressure on the opponent, right? So, Shemaine Campbell, Delia James, even though she's young, Delia James is 20. As I said, the team is very inexperienced, but Delia James has the ability, to play and to stick around in the wicket, right? So, without further ado, I'm going to share with you the squad. And the batters include Haley Matthews, our captain. We have Kiana Joseph. In terms of wicket keeper, we have Shemaine Campbell. She's the vice captain. We have Sherian Fraser as our all-rounder. Mandy Mangrove, Stephanie Taylor, Ashmini Munisar, Zadia James, Relina Griman. The bowlers include Aliyah Lane, Tabika Gajnabi, Afi Fletcher, Janella Glasgow, Arishma Ramarak, and Azara Claxton. Having thought about the squad, given the lack of experience in the squad, I was wondering if Shamilia Connell could have been included in the squad. She has a lot of experience at this level, and in fact she would have played over 78 matches of T20 cricket already, grabbing 52 wickets and so forth, right? So she has a lot of experience at this level. And given that Deandra Datin is not here, Chanel Henry would have been out. I'm wondering if Shamilia could have been included. Right, I know she did not perform really well in the T20 plays, but I think she was very economical in that tournament. Just wondering the reason why she was overlooked, right? But I am backing the team nonetheless. We are West Indian and we are going to back the team 100%, regardless of who is selected for the squad. So I think for this tour, I think our spinners will be crucial. Sar, Fletcher, Haley Matthews, Richmond Ramona. All of those, ladies will be, critical for us on this tour. And Janelia Glasgow will also. I know she's fairly good with ball in hand as well. So she will give support to Ali Ali and Sharian Fraser in that department. Now Ali Ali would have been one of our best bowlers in the World Cup qualifier. And I think one of the performance that stood out to me now is that 4 for 39 that she would have taken against Bangladesh by getting the wicket of Fargana take, and that would have triggered a collapse in that Bangladesh. In fact, I think they lost 7 wickets for 93 runs, and Ali Ali would have started that, and she would have bowled well in other matches. Right, so I know she's in really good rhythm. Hope that she's still fit and rearing to go for us. Now, you may be wondering what Relina Griman and Yazara Paxton, what they are bringing to the table. Griman, she bats at the top for Guyana. Can remember in the final she would have made 46 runs. What I find with her, she can manage pressure well at the top of the order there, and she's able to stabilize the innings if that is necessary. We would have seen in that final along with Sinead Campbell what they would have done there for Guyana. So she's a good all-round and she's very electric in the field. I can remember she made about 3 run-outs in that T20 place. Right, so she's a good all-round player, and if it comes to the test, she can put a lot of pressure at the top of the innings, put pressure on the opponent, that is the bowlers. We would have seen she would have played some really good, aggressive stroke in the T20 place. Right, in terms of Paxton, I think she was really good. In the under-19 World Cup, I think she would have taken 7 wickets in that tournament, with her best figure of 1 for 9 against Malaysia under-19. Right, and what I find with her also, she can bat at the top. She bats about number 4, right, and she has very good temperament as well. She would have played football, and she is also an athlete. Right, so I mean, she in those conditions, I hope that she can get the ball, get some lateral movement off the ball and so forth. If she would have gotten a chance to showcase her skill in England. So all in all, I mean, as I said before, the squad is a little bit on the inexperienced side, but I hope that they will do well. Even though playing in England is a challenging condition, but we are backing our girls, and I hope that they will make us proud. As I said before, this tour will be very pivotal, especially for Shandies, because we need some results from the girls, some positive results, right? So they need to perform, right, on this tour. Alright, so that's where we will leave it for now. Thank you so much for joining us here on Gameyaaad TV. Please have yourself a wonderful day.